Time is 6 p.m. I will call to order the July 9th meeting of the Huxley City Council. Roll call, please.
Roberts. Here. Etcher.
Here.
Rigler.
Here.
Mulder.
Here.
Murphy.
Here.
Okay, time is 6 p.m. I will call to order the July 9th meeting of the Huxley City Council. Roll call, please.
Roberts. Here. Etcher.
Here.
Rigler.
Here.
Mulder.
Here.
Murphy.
Here.
Okay, time is 6 p.m. I will call to order the July 9th meeting of Okay, moving on, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please respond with aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Now is the time in the agenda for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak on any non-agenda items, just ask that you come to the podium, state your name and address.
That work? Okay. My name is Shirley Crippen. I live at 485 Bella Vista Court. I'm here representing some other homeowners with reference to the city ordinance regarding fireworks. We are requesting that City Council consider making a change in that ordinance going from 7 days a week to 3 days a week.
Anybody else wishing to address council at this time? Seeing no one rise, we will move along. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion. Mulder.
Motion by Mulder and a second by Etcher. Any discussion on this item?
I would just know that it had. Sorry, the dates were originally in the email that was sent was the 24th through the 28th. They provided the correct dates today. It's the 21st through the 25th is when that 5-day license will occur. And what you're doing this evening is not approving the liquor license. You're actually authorizing consent for them to use that property. There's a letter that will be signed by the mayor that they will have to send in to ABD in order to get their license. That's a new requirement.
Hearing no other discussion, I ask for a roll call, please.
Murphy.
Yes.
Etcher.
Yes.
Roberts. Yes. Rigler.
Yes.
Mulder.
Yes.
All right, moving along. Item 5A on the agenda this evening is ordinance 538, revising the prohibited animals ordinance. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item this evening? Okay. Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Murphy.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Rigler. We had some extensive conversations on this topic a couple weeks ago at a work session. Council was provided some additional materials. Are there any additional questions or comments regarding this item?
Yeah, the two identification sheets were something that the Humane Society, I can't remember the gentleman who was here, but he had provided it after the fact. But one of the topics of discussion last time was about being able to identify a dog that currently would violate our policy. And I believe while Chief's not here, he mentioned that it is hard to do so. These were sheets of different mixes of dogs, and he provided us with an answer key. I really just wanted to make sure council saw those sheets as well. If we wanted to go through them and try and identify them, could be a fun little game, but I think, like the data suggests, correct identification was something like 20 or 30%, which makes the ordinance really challenging to enforce. That was part of the reason it was brought to me as an item to discuss whether or not we should amend.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Any additional comments?
I just have one question, and Chief isn't here, so I'll ask JJ. How many of these calls, how many calls do we get on this ordinance of a pit bull? I mean, is it a lot? Is it a little?
Very little. I can't think in the last several years, but most of them are self-initiated, if I go to a house or something.
So just a follow-up on that question. So since the ordinance, it's very little that we've had calls on, correct?
Correct. Not specific to where it's.
Okay, thank you all for your comments. Ask for a roll call, please.
Mulder,
No.
Murphy,
Yes.
Roberts. No. Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
No.
Okay, motion fails 2-3. I'm sorry, moving on, department reports. I don't have anything noted this evening for department reports, correct?
You'll get your monthly report the second. I don't know if any of the staff have anything, but if you do, I would ask that you each come up to the microphone so you can be on camera. I know we had the comment made on fireworks, and the mayor did ask that we pull the statistics for the last week. From 7/1/24 to 7/7/24, the police department received a total of 6 calls. 4 of those calls actually came in prior to the cutoff time, so they were actually legal to be discharging fireworks. There were 2 calls that were after. One was at 10:36 and one was at 10:53 PM. The one at 10:53 PM was probably over the neighborhood where so he was speaking. It was in the 701 Ballard Drive areas where that call came from. So it was over by the high school. But the officers did make contact and corrected the things that were going on. So made people aware.
Okay, moving on this evening, that concludes our regular business items for this evening. We do have a work session with a couple items this evening. The first one on the work session is an update on the Huxley splash pad.
There we go. So I'm just presenting to you the updated drawings from Forrest. He was originally supposed to be here tonight, but obviously he was not able to come. So that is the current status of where we are at with our drawings. What I've been going back and forth with him, and I've talked to Public Works about these things as well, was whether we would have sidewalks on both sides, north and south, whether we would have curb on all sides. We originally were gonna have it have a curb on the west side facing the baseball field. We removed that because the city Public Works uses that area for snow removal. So the intention right now is to keep the curb on the north and the south side. That also eliminates the fact that we won't have to have those large cement parking areas, and it will give a clear line for our snow plows in the winter months. And then what we will do during season is we will have it barricaded off so you cannot go through, because we don't want traffic going through, just for safety of the children. So that's one of the things that was discussed with this. You will also see that the building, the self-contained recirculation building, I gave an additional sheet. Forrest also provided some pictures on the front sheet, which is what he provided today. We are looking at this, and I just attached the second part because that explains a little bit more about this new feature that they're able to offer. So this new feature is a lot quicker return. There is a red light by battery. Yes, you are absolutely correct. So this is a new feature. I did talk to Forrest because the car.
So I have one question on the building. It looks like it's screened in, is that correct?
So you have options. You'll see in that one picture, it has a kind of a mesh top closure. It looks like there's that option. There's also the enclosure with the graphics on it. I have not personally seen this enclosure, but it's the new way that they're doing it, I guess. It's completely safe as far as, you know, with locks and everything like that, and all the unit is enclosed inside of this infrastructure. So it's supposed to be easier for changing the chemicals, has all the activation board and control panels in that unit as well. I will tell you, because that's a more specific question, is that the Aquatics is who we've mainly talked to, and they are more than happy to come and explain those things to council if that is something that you want to know, or those idiosyncrasies of this. But yeah, that is the full mechanical aspect is all enclosed in that structure.
So I guess my only concern would be during the wintertime hours or months of a lot of plumbing in there.
Mhm.
And I know we drain them and then they put the antifreeze in them, but that's screened in, it's still susceptible to all
Yeah,
that.
I'll have to follow up on that. I'm not sure if it's under. Any other questions specifically regarding the drawings?
Yeah, if you're looking for some feedback regarding the site plan, I guess two comments, and likely Forrest will catch this anyway when they get a little bit further along, but there does not appear to be a handicap accessible route from the sidewalk to the splash pad area. So from the public sidewalk on North Main, that would be the logical one, but it could come from West Fifth. That's up to you, but you'll need a sidewalk, a handicap accessible sidewalk to get you throughout the site. And then my second comment also regarding handicap accessibility would be a sidewalk over to the restrooms. Does not appear to be included in this at this time.
And then one more thing on that, I don't see anything on the site plan for a parking lot.
Or the parking lot is that whole middle section.
Square.
Okay. So, okay, my fault, sorry.
For clarification then, I was trying to discern the parking lot and the sidewalk. Are the blue dash lines, is that handicap parking? Is that the sidewalk accessibility to the splash pad?
You're correct, from a parking spot.
Oh, you were saying from the sidewalk
Yeah,
on
so you
Yeah.
Second.
can
Gotcha,
get
gotcha.
through there. Some or
Okay.
something.
Nope, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the basketball court right there, and this
Thanks.
is the whole parking area, and then the splash pad's there, and then get.
All right, thank you for your comments, Heather. Any additional questions or comments from council? Thank you for your time this evening. All right, the last item on the work session is discussion regarding a new skid loader. Matt, this is yours. Okay.
So all your current attachments will work with this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because we had to change the hydraulics on some of them, on ours when we went to, from Kubota. Right.
This is also.
Good job on keeping this other one going 20 years for a piece of equipment. That's a long life.
So the skid loader roughly 75, the trailer roughly 10, that's 85, but maybe your trade-in's worth 15, so you're gonna net 70-ish, right? So you're still ballpark-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. My only question, maybe comment, would be more for David. We did not approve any capital improvement dollars in the 24-25 budget. We're 9 days in, and I mean, this is a significant item, but the rooftop units for the 3Cs Center, I don't see anywhere on the 10-year plan. Where are we at with a capital improvements plan, and is that a bigger discussion we need to have first to prioritize?
We do have I mean, if you're doubling your money,
More than double.
yeah, if you're more than doubling your money, that helps solve a lot of these issues with the dollars we're talking about.
We also have two CDs that'll mature August 1st, and we have those treasury bonds
The city's had forever.
that we've had forever that we need to get into an interest-bearing account.
I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does. Do you anticipate any other CIP requests in the 24-25 budget? Outside of the rooftops and okay, no, appreciate that information. I guess I look forward to the conversation for some long-range planning. I certainly understand we've got some additional cash reserves due to some diligent spending by previous councils, but we've got some significant projects coming up. We've talked about public works facilities, fire station remodels, expansions, new fire trucks. My preference is not to bond for those. It's terribly expensive to do, which is why you need cash to do that. So I'm not looking to spend down all of our cash with some large projects hanging over us. So
Fire trucks will run you anywhere now from probably a tanker's gonna run 700,000 plus to the last ladder I bought was $1.2 million, and they're probably more than that now. They're probably closer to $1.4 million, $1.5 million. Yeah. And
Mayor,
you try to find demos, so it's gonna save a little bit.
Mayor Kuhn, since you brought it up, I did want to update the council because they had asked at the last meeting that we bring the service agreement with Train back for approval. Heather has been in the process of transitioning that project to Matt and I, and we have actually reached out to a couple of other companies trying to compare apples to apples. So we will have something for council approval at the July 23rd meeting.
Also with that, with
yeah, appreciate your efforts on that.
as far as council.
I personally think we need to add the trailer because they can't transport the piece of equipment without the trailer.
Yeah, it's just simple as putting some numbers in there is what the costs are of the trailers and they'll be in front of it.
I agree with Rory there. Include it.
Thank you, Matt. David.
I just have one other thing. I know, Mayor, you had asked, you said you wanted to look at getting like a goal setting session set up here, late summer, early fall. Not knowing what you've done in the past, I didn't know if you did that in-house, you bring in a consultant. I just kind of wanted to get some direction, which route council would like to go to do that. I know I've worked with Pat Callahan quite a bit on goal setting. He does a pretty good job. He's very reasonable with what he charges. He worked in local government for 35 years and has probably been a consultant now for 15 or 20 years. So have you used Pat in the past?
Yep, we have. I guess I'll look to council a little bit here. I think there's some benefit to trying to give it a go internally here. I think we all work well together, communicate well. So I think we could achieve quite a bit internally. It's not like we have hordes of cash to spend here, right? We're somewhat limited, but if council would like to seek outside counsel on that, we certainly can.
I think we try by ourselves first time. If we can't get anywhere, I mean, nothing's lost then.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Let's give it a good old college try ourselves before we spend some money.
I just wanted to get some direction so we can start working to get something set up. Thank you.
All right, any closing remarks from council members? I'll start with Ms. Roberts.
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
Nothing, please.
I actually had a question for either Heather or Jeff. It was related to your report, I guess, Heather, but for the tree board, have you guys came up with any additional sites? It sounded like you were gonna meet with Public Works to try and determine where we don't have the the drainage conflict, but I didn't know if there was any update on that.
No update yet. No decision has been made. We have a possible location, but not a plan together yet. So we're meeting on Monday to discuss that. Check is still sitting on the.
Thank you.
I'll also ask a question, Heather. I hear the 3Cs is changing names. Is that also include some sign changes and stuff up front or things? I mean, is that a go or is that just on the website or is that,
Yeah, the 3Cs has never really had an identity. So the name is now Generations, but it has not officially been changed over yet. We just kind of start putting some teasers out there and inform people, but there hasn't been a logo change yet. We're gonna do some graphics on the door and then just some decor and paint cars that will kind of tie into the new logo.
do we have it says something on the side of the building or something
Well,
still
Three
too?
Cs has always been related to as the building. You know, it says 3Cs Fitness, but when people say 3Cs, it refers to as the building. So
I'm in 3Cs, the city hall's in 3Cs, police department's in 3Cs.
yeah, that's the thing we've gotten for a long time. So we wanted to kind of create our own identity. And so the park board had a meeting for probably a month to discuss that option. And so the idea is that we are a fitness center separate from a park and rec department, so that we are open to all ages.
Got it. So you'll be Generations Fitness in the 3Cs. The building is still
building
the
is still
3. Got it. I understand it a little bit better now. Thank you. That's all I had. Thanks, Murphy.
Nothing tonight.
I would just note, we did get some feedback from Andrew Collins with CERTPA. And that regards the trail grant that we received on Highway 69. It looks as though that'll be put into the 25-28 planning document that comes out in October. We've got some work to do to get ready for that. We will have to follow state guidelines for bidding that because there are some federal dollars there. So I forwarded that on to Forrest to make him aware of it. More than likely, that project probably won't get constructed until sometime next year, either spring or summer, which that's that tie-in from the landing down to Centennial. So.
Just that we'll work on fixing any hiccups we had tonight and then put it out on the webpage and social media that the public can now subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch council meetings.
Just one closing comment from me to the lady who spoke this evening. I should have made a statement previously. Public comments are always welcome. We certainly appreciate those. It's not a time for back and forth with council. It's just a time for public to give input. I would ask council members to consider the request, and at the next meeting, we can have a conversation about whether that's something we want to bring back. So it'll be a work session item. I'll give you a couple of weeks to talk to your neighbors and fellow citizens. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll have a brief discussion at a work session and determine if that's something we want to pursue or not. So having said that, I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Rigler, and a second by Mr. Mulder. All those in favor, please respond to the aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much.